looks like. Of course, I just want this just a smidge bigger, maybe. Okay, everybody, just give it a couple seconds here. Guess I do need it a smidge. Okay, just trying to make the most of this picture here. So, getting a little better each time. You can't quite see the name, just up a smidge more. Just want to make sure, trying to, because how it looks in my camera is a little different than how it comes up on the, my phone here. It's just a little different how it comes up on the computer. Okay, I think that's going to be good enough. All right. Okay, and it's 10:45. So hopefully we'll have some people joining us here. So this is Sonia with Stamping Around the Dining Room Table. And I wanted, before we get started with the set I'm going to share with you today, I wanted to remind everybody that this month, there's a select designer series paper that is on sale for 15% off. You can go to my Stamping Around the Dining Room Table page, and I did put some information about it on a little bit earlier, well, last week. I will put it on again today, and so that you can see exactly which papers are on sale for this month. It's for the whole month of October. Okay, so good morning, Bunny. Nice to have you join me. And anyway, so I just wanted to make sure and point that out to you. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd be more than happy to be your demonstrator. And my website is stamproundthetable.stampinup.net. Okay, so today I'm going to be using the set Love of Leaves. It is found on page 49 in our August to December catalog. It is a bundle. It has a stamp set and dies. If you buy the whole thing, the whole bundle, it's $47.50, which saves you 10% over buying them individually. Okay, the Love of Leaves stamp set, if you want it only, that is $18, and the Stitch Leaves dies is $35. So $47.50 is 10% off if you added those prices together. Okay, so I did make up a storyboard for you, but before I do, I'm going to show you here just briefly the dies. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leaf dies. These are actually the same basic leaf. It's just one kind of curves one way a little bit and one curves the other. And then they have this interesting pattern that you can make. In some ways it can look almost like a skyline, at least when you see it on the dies themselves. Okay, and there are 11 stamps in this. So I did make up a storyboard. I'll start with the dies. And what's interesting about these, I'll bring them back out here. Let me just show you. They do have the outline, so you can just stamp it. You could just stamp it and cut it out, or if you, and here's the shape of some of the different leaves. I'll show you closer in a moment. If you want, however, though, you can have put the veins in the leaves, which I'm not sure how well it's showing up on camera, but this slides in. So you would put this face down on the paper, Let me just kind of pull this up here like that. And then you would put this inside, okay, and run it through. And when that happens, I don't know how well you might be able to see, but it does put the veins right in the leaf. Okay, so we have this shape, and here it is, just the shape. Here it is with the veins. There's, whoop, something stuck here. There's this shape, and there's the veins. This shape, the veins, this shape with the veins, and then as I said, they're the same leaf really. They just go opposite direct. They just kind of tip a little bit differently. And then this. And here is that skyline. So just kind of an interesting little decoration you could put on something, or you could make it as a skyline. That would be an interesting little thing on a card, wouldn't it? Okay, so this is all of the dies. Okay, so on this side, I did stamp, and I did cut out the shapes to just give you a little better idea. So the sentiments with this are: I thought of you today. Hello. Your friendship is something I know I can count on. Hope changes everything. I'm so glad you're in my life, and thank you. So here's one leaf, and then there it is stamped and cut out. The second leaf stamped and cut out. I'll pull this up a little. The third leaf stamped and cut out. The fourth leaf stamped and cut out. And then this little one stamped and cut out. Okay. So with this set, there's 11 leaves and 13 dies. Let me just kind of put things back in here so I don't lose anything, because that would not be fun. Okay, and I'll show you some cards that I made using that. My first one is this: I thought of you today. And there's the dies using a couple different colors. The paper that I used here is Gilded Autumn. That is also in our catalog, in our August to December catalog on page 45. It's called Gilded Autumn Specialty Designer Series paper, which right now it's on back order. I'm not sure if it can be ordered, but hopefully they'll be getting something. I would like a little more of this, but we'll see how it goes. All right, it's not one of the ones, unfortunately, that's on sale, and part of that is just because it isn't available right now. Okay, so I used the designer series paper from that, and then inside I just stamped some of the leaves right there down in the corner. I'll add my sentiment later. Then there's this one, Thank You, and another one of the papers from that specialty paper. And this one, this one opens this way, and I put those leaves on the inside. And a thank you note, many times we won't like to write inside of it, so it may not ever have a sentiment just inside, just what you want to write. Now, one of the things people were talking about with these dies is that you can, cut out from different papers. And so, and some people were using the plaid tiding. So here's one that I did, and I just put them on the front of this and just had the hello, and then just stamped that inside. This one I'd also seen people make cut it out, the shape out of the base, card base, and on this I put the paper behind it. You also could make it more what they call a peekaboo card and just have it on the back. But so this one I put it behind, and then I did cover it over with another piece of paper that's the same color as the base. And then just stamped a light leaf in there. This one I decided to use the brushed metal of copper and gold, because that's what was on this paper. Again, that designer series paper from the Gilded Autumn. And after I had the card made, I went, oh, I didn't even think I should have put the veins in it. But it's pretty this way too. So this one, I'm so glad you're in my life, and I stamped a leaf inside that coordinates with the cardstock. So I thought the card I would make today, it's going to be a little bit of a fancy fold. Okay, so what I did was I started out with the normal card base, which is, for many of us, it's 11 by 4 1/4. No, I said that wrong. I have to think a second. 4 1/4 goes this way. It's 11. No, it's 5. Wait, so I have to think. Yes, it's 5 1/2. I'm sorry, it's 11 by 4 1/4. I mean, 11 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. I will get this eventually. Sorry about that. And I did trim off about 2, maybe 2.5 inches there, because I wanted this to overlap so that you could see. And I use some plaid tidings again here. I'm going to put this on the inside here. Okay, and I want it to butt up right along that edge. So I'm just going to, this is a non-stick. We do have a non-stick mat in our annual catalog. And I should have I didn't look that up to give you I can do that in a moment. Let me just but I like to run my runner, have that underneath when I'm doing it, so because otherwise I end up with glue everywhere and then things start sticking. Okay, so there's that. And then what I wanted to do was, I have these 2 little squares, and let's see, I didn't bring my my ruler right here, but I do have some grid paper here, this small grid paper, just so that I can make sure. I think it's okay. So this one, do it this way. Here's the one. This one is just under 3. It's not even, maybe it's 2 7/16. I mean 2 7/8. No, it's 8. It's 2 15/16 that way, and this way it is 3. And this one is 3 1/16 by about 3 1/16. So the one that's bigger, I do want on the outside. Okay, so what I wanted to do was, I want this to go here, and see these 2 lines here, I'm kind of using those to kind of line it up. And then when I put the one on the inside, it's going to also kind of line up there with that. And I'll just make sure that it is underneath this, so that it might be it's going to be a little shorter, so when you open it, then it's there. Okay, but before I do that, a little bit of ink on here. But before I do that, though, I want to stamp my sentiment on the outside. And I decided this time, because these are photopolymer also, the clear stamps, I want to put it on something that has a little bit of a cushion, because you just get a better impression then. Oop, I had it upside down. See if I can do this without making a mess, which I might put, since I have ink on the edge there, I'm gonna put this over here, because I don't want to get it, and I just put my thumb in it, it looks like. Anyway, to put this over here along the edge there now, so I don't want to get all that extra on my card. But let me see first. I want it, put this straight so I can see it. I want it about there. I'm going to put this, most of the time it doesn't, but I have to tell you, today I've been having, it seems like every thing I tried to stamp earlier today, I would get stuff on my finger, and then I would see it, and it would have got on there. Either get it on my fingers like this, and then get it on my card, or it's on the edge like that, and it gets on my card. And on the inside, and I just want to make sure, okay, actually let me put this on, and then I can make sure I've got everything before I stamp my inside. let's see. So I was thinking right up at the top there. Is that where I want it? Yes. So I'm kind of lining it up along here. Now you want to remember too that you don't want to go, you only want to do, and I put my finger there, from about here over this way, because you want to, I turned this over a little so I could, just because you want to make sure that you're not gluing what needs to be, you know, that you need to be able to open. So make sure I got that. Hopefully I did that correctly. Nope, I got a little bit over, it looks like. Okay. And then, again, I want to make sure this is going to be what I want. It's up a little bit. So that is going to be hidden. All right, so before I do that, though, I do want to put on here I do have a sentiment. This time I want to put on the inside. And a lot of times I save it, but I decided today I'm going to do this. I'm going to put up a little bit towards the top so that if I did want to add something else, I can. Let me see. Oh, and look at, I got my finger on there again. Okay, so I'm going to do this. This one I can put the, because the whole thing's going to go down, so get this out of my, I didn't bring over my, all right. And then one more time before I put it down, I just going to check this, make sure this is correct. Yay. Then I did here's a couple of leaves that I had stamped earlier, and I'd already decided I thought I might like to just add those in there. So that one's going to hang over, but I can trim them off. Here's my scissors, here my little snips. So I don't make too big a mess here, I'm going to bring this back. And I could have let that go over and then trimmed it off after. That probably would have been a better thing. And then this one, my thought had been to put it here, and I'll cover that up with a jewel. I really would like this over here. Oh, and it is going to fit right on there, so. In this case, I may put just a dot of glue on the base there. I could have put glue over the whole thing. See if I can get a dot out. This is a non-stick mat, so it doesn't, there. Just want a real tiny bit, just a tiny bit there. I think that's it. Yep. Okay, let me close this before I do any more damage with ink. Telling you, some days it all flows smoothly. Today, not so much, but hey, that's part of life. Okay, so I'm gonna move these things out of the way, and then I'm going to today I'm going to use the the rhinestone basic jewels, just the plain rhinestone basic jewels, and I'm going to put a little bigger one right there, and then you got really 3 sizes here. If I can get a hold of that one, he wants to jump away. 1 and the littlest one maybe, right about there. Now, on the other ones, I did use, well, this one I used the orangey, yellowish jewels from the Holiday Jewels. This one I used, they're like a light, almost like a turquoisey, but really light color. And those are all from the holiday jewels. Then on these, I ended up using the champagne rhinestone basic jewels. They do have just that little bit of a pinky yellow, so I could have done that on here, but I wanted something just a little different this time than I'd been doing. And on this one, I used the gilded gems. So those are, you know, we have a few different rhinestones and other things like that that you can add bling to. All right, so your friendship is something I know I can count on, and tell me, yes, I'm so glad you're in my life. So there. Or it could have been the other way around. I could have even put that on the front. I'm so glad you're in my life. Your friendship is something I know I can count on. But I wanted to do it that way, just to have it something a little bit different than what a lot of people may do. Okay, so that was actually, that went pretty quickly, and I did want to show you, these are a few other leaves that I did cut out, and you can really see the veins on those because of the color of them, because they're just a plain cardstock. These were some more, they don't have veins in them because they're plaid, and it would have been very difficult to see those. And then I did have one more of the copper leaves left. And actually that one, I may end up just putting the veins in. So anyway, so that's, once again, move these out of the way here. That is the Love of Leaves. Okay. And really, people have done so many things with this. It's pretty versatile. It doesn't even have to, you know, and none of the sentiments say fall. You know, it's more like friendship ones, thinking of, you know, 'cause it says, you know, all the friendship things, and hope changes everything. It's a nice sentiment that nowadays might be a good one to send to people, just to try to encourage them during is the pandemic, and, you know, just like a lot of things going on now, that hopefully that would, you know, might be seen as an encouragement. So, okay, so if you go to my my Facebook page, and you see anything there, like whether it is the designer series paper or something about paper pumpkin or things like that, when you click on those, it'll take you right over to my website, or you can go directly to my website, stamproundthetable.stampinup.net. Just a reminder, designer series paper the whole month, but October 31st will be here before we know it. 15% off some selected papers, so take a look at that. If you would like a catalog, if you private message me with your address, I will send a catalog out to you. Okay, any questions, you also can put them here in a comment, or you can private message me and I will answer you. I do appreciate you watching me today, and I'd love if you would join me in the stamping journey, whether as a customer or whether you also would like to become a demonstrator. Any more information about that, just reach out to me and I'll be glad to answer those questions. So I'll put these cards out again for you to see. There's the one I just made. These are the others that I had made before. Hopefully you can see them. Oh, it looks like I need to do this. So there's quite a variety there of different things that you can do, and I'm sure you can come up with many others yourself, because as they say, you know, your imagination is the only limitations that you have when it comes to crafting. Let me just look real quick. See, hey Meg, hey. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you, Bunny. Thank you, Meg. So All right, I hope everyone has a good day. I'll be back on Friday at 1:45 with a Christmas card. Um, and then next Tuesday I will be back again at 10:45. I hope to see you at each of those times. And in the meantime, I hope you have a good week. Take care and happy crafting. Oh, Bonnie.